So I think, you know, I obviously made this call about the Fed pivoting, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. And I've recent essay that I posted, I've cobbled together this liquidity index and shown how it's very well fit in terms of Bitcoin goes, how the dollar liquidity goes. And it's very, very difficult to forecast the politics behind what the central bank is going to do in a short period of time, like over the next year. I mean, I have a very strong view about what they're going to do over the next 5 to 10 years. Inflation, inflation, inflation. Default by any other mean called default, but that doesn't help you today. However, this ETH thing is interesting. We have the number 2 currency that's going from proof of work to proof of stake. Now, whether or not that's a good thing is irrelevant. But the structural fact is there's less issuance of it. And it's the only currency that's of this size that's doing this switch. So it's not like we care about what Solana is doing or Cardano is doing or NEAR or any of these other, L1 competitors. ETH, it doesn't matter. This isn't about whether or not ETH processes more TPS than the other competitor. It's here's an emission schedule and an inflation schedule and a value. We know what it's going to be afterwards. We know it's almost impossible for you to pre-trade this situation. The flows are just going to be the flows, similar to the Bitcoin halving. We know how Bitcoin halvings have panned out over time. So I love this trade because I can be wrong on the Fed and still make money, in my opinion, on Ethereum, because the structural flows are dramatically changing in such a way that it gives, I think, the price enough upside to overcome possibly a negative macro environment.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Arthur Hayes back in the house. And those who've been with me from the beginning know he was a part of my videos on a regular basis when he was with BitMEX. But guys, he says that the Fed is going to pivot. Is that correct? No, it is not. After this year, yes. Is the Fed going to slow up? Yes, it's going to slow up. But we know all the central banks are moving in lockstep because they want to destroy this legacy market. And he knows that too. They will slow up from raising rates, but they're going to still allow this balance sheet to roll off. But as long as the central banks are raising rates and rolling off the balance sheet, is Ethereum going to pump? No, it is not. Because, guys, you need liquidity. And like Arthur Hayes state, you got to show that it works. And it takes time to show that everything works. But Ethereum is definitely going to take off. But I don't see Ethereum and Bitcoin taking off again until 2024, going in until 2025. Because, guys, that's when we know the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep start entering into the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
I don't think people believe the merge is going to happen still. And I also
Really?
Absolutely. I can't sit here and tell you that I think for 100% that they're going to switch to proof of stake and think they're going to blow up. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a trader. I'm not in the trenches. Been an Ethereum developer since 2014 and built this thing, right? And if you've been around long enough, you've heard the talk about proof of stake. I don't know, 5, 6 years, 5, 7 years, whatever, however long. He's been talking about it since Ethereum. Has it happened yet? No, right? And so your default response is, okay, show me proof of stake. Show me that it works. Show me that all the different applications function just as they did before. Show me that there's not going to be some bug that you didn't think of, some edge case that's going to blow up in your face, and you're going to require a hard fork to go right back to proof of work. Show me. You can't. There's nothing that's going to prove to me that's going to happen until it actually happens. And so I think a lot of people are of that opinion, and I think that's the rational way to believe it, especially as someone who was a former tech CEO. Nothing's ever shipped on time. Nothing ever works as it's supposed to. And I know that 100% certainty.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
we're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.